A lot of people ask for more examples of the transactions that occur in marriage and how to make them more equitable. So here's a few more examples. One of the biggest and most obvious transactions occurs with sex. Think about every time you have had it when you didn't really want to, and think about all the reasons you have done that. To feel loved, to maintain harmony or keep the peace, to feel safe in the relationship, to manage his emotions, to feel desired, to keep him faithful, or to get relief from feeling obligated to his desire. Every one of those is a transaction, and I am suggesting you examine whether you are actually getting what you are giving your body for. You actually feel safer, loved, respected, secure, or are you paying for something you are not receiving? The other big and obvious transaction is what gets exchanged for financial provision. He makes money, maybe more than you do, maybe not. And in exchange, you provide some combination of household labor, childcare, emotional support, flexibility, career sacrifices, companionship, sex, and the countless invisible tasks that make his life easier. Have you examined the terms of that exchange? Do you feel that it's fair? Do you feel appreciated for what you're contributing? Do you even know everything you're giving in return? Those are big and more obvious examples, but I also want to highlight some of the less obvious transactions and how some of them feel more equitable. For instance, you do the dishes, he takes out the trash. You cook dinner, he cleans up. You make the coffee, he feeds the dogs. You handle all the vet and dog grooming appointments, and he keeps the cars gassed up and schedules maintenance appointments. You decorate the inside of the house for Christmas, he puts up the lights outside. One of the services I used to provide in exchange for him simply valuing me was being his personal shopper and stylist. I devoted a lot of hours to shopping for him both online and in person, making purchases, trying on each piece with him, putting together his outfits, returning things that didn't work, and I asked nothing in return. And when I evaluated that exchange, I realized I was doing all that work so that he would value and appreciate me. And although he was always verbally appreciative, I knew he did not see the true value of that labor, and that was reflected in his actions. Now when I do that labor, I don't ask for appreciation and I don't beg him to see my value. What I do instead is I buy myself something really nice as compensation for the time and energy that I have poured into him. I get myself something equal in value to what he would pay a personal stylist or a personal shopper for the service I provided. And now I am participating in that transaction in a way that actually benefits both of us. So think about all the things you do in exchange for being labeled a good and loving wife or to prove your worth or your value to him without getting anything else out of the exchange. Maybe you're his personal shopper too. Maybe you buy his clothes, his toiletries, his food, his gifts. Maybe you're his unpaid therapist and you help him process work problems, personal problems, family issues, health concerns, goals, hobbies. Maybe you're participating in things you don't enjoy, like watching the shows he wants to watch, listening to music you don't enjoy, having conversations about sports you don't like, participating in hobbies you don't enjoy. The goal for me was to become conscious of the exchanges, and when I did, I saw that I did so much in exchange for love, appreciation, and recognition that I wasn't actually getting. Now I either don't do those things at all, or I do them in exchange for something that feels more equal to what I'm giving, and I decide what that is.